Right, so this is the sword ornament in form of a lion. The first question that is asked is, what do you see? So I see a cat. It looks like it's smiling. And really flat teeth, and it's got felt inside of it that's red.
Yes, I see a cat-like looking animal sculpture. It shows a wide grin on its face and flat teeth and ridges on the sides of it.
Okay. Our second question is, what is it about? So, I think it's about, it looks like the cat's like ready to attack, kind of like almost like growling, but that's just me.
Okay, I see more of a warning sign on the cat's face to would-be attackers, enemies. It's more like to warn them to stay away. And yes.
Question 3 is, how do you know? And I just, the way the cat is positioned and like standing, he looks like he's being defensive and alert.
Yeah, I agree to that, and also the way the piece of art is portrayed, and the color scheme of the felt that's filled on the inside is red, which is a universal color of danger and warning.
Gotcha.
And yes.
All right. Question 4 is, what's question? What might this work have meant to someone in its original context? Well, it was probably a symbol that the person was of high social status, maybe royalty or very wealthy.
True to that, a status symbol and the fact that precious metal like gold was used to create this piece of art shows that, the person was highly respected in society.
Absolutely. How does its meaning change with its new context within the museum? Well, in my opinion, it went from a social status symbol to a weird-looking cat sculpture that they are showing at an art gallery.
Yes, to me, it's just a displayed piece of art, with no real meaning or connection to the viewer.
Yeah. Explain the positive aspects of the museum owning and displaying this artwork. My positive aspect of this is that it allows us to understand how social standing possibly could have worked and been presented for the Asante people.
And also, it allows one of the positive aspects is educating the public on an array of different cultural art and meanings.
Yes. All right. Explain the negative aspects of the museum owning and displaying this artwork. The negative aspect that I think is that it's no longer respected as an African high-class symbol, but rather a piece of historical African art, much less respected as such.
Agree to that. It also loses its sense of belonging in that it's not within the people that it's supposed to serve, and also it's just a display, in a museum and not serving its purpose.
Right. All right. How might your experience with interpreting the work change your life? Well, it doesn't really change my life too much. However, I'd come to realize the Africans did have hierarchy and social classes, and I didn't think that they had that before.
Right. I agree to that. It doesn't change my life that much, but it gives me a new perspective of the different cultures and symbolism in art that's displayed.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
9. How does your interpretation compare to what the museum or artists say about the work? What the museum says about the piece is pretty different than what I said about it. Quite a bit different, actually. This is a sword holder or something like that, and it's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, mine is very different due to the fact that looks more like an art showing a happy animal, but in reality, it's more like a symbol of war. And it's a warning sign, and it depicts death. In contrast to what it's showing, it shows happiness, but in reality, it's more of a death symbol.
Yeah, and it did end up being for like a leader of a group, but instead of it's more of like a fearful symbol of a leader, more than like just okay, he's above us. It's more like we fear him because he's above us.
I agree to that.
Yeah. All right. 10. How does the way the museum show and tell the viewers about non-Western artworks affect the way the viewers think about the civilization that created these works? And in my opinion, I've come to realize the Asante people and their creations are much deeper and civilized than I first thought.
Okay, it creates the idea of primitivity. That's Western art, ideology and non-civilization of their societies due to the fact that most of the art on display depicts war, non-peace. But in reality, if you take a different angle at it and look at it from a different aspect, it shows great talent and a great appreciation of art.
Yep. All right. Cool.